terms of being responsible for the loss of our team, I would first of all say it was a group effort, and two particular people. One would be Dave. Abby didn't really take into account all the transactions that we did.
Well, I can't directly point the finger at a particular person. Maybe the leader, because the leader may have lacked leadership qualities.
We were all responsible for the loss because we didn't stick to the strategy. It's really difficult to pick someone. If I had to pick anyone, it would probably be Rivka.
Prashant, were you a key part of this team? What was your contribution?
First of all, I was instrumental in suggesting that we should buy an alternative kind of seafood, such as prawns, other than fish. Secondly, I suggested that we should peel the shells so we can sell it for a higher price.
So where did it go wrong?
Well, there may have been some kind of miscommunication between the consumers and the group members, as well as a slight miscommunication between among the group members itself.
Mazda, is that what went wrong? Was there a communication problem?
In terms of communicating with customers, yes, there was something that went wrong, because initially we priced the sea. Sea is the most expensive fish, one of the most expensive fish in Sri Lanka, and we priced the sea at $9.60 per kilo. And initially, when Rivka and I, when we started off our sales, we had already gone to get the customers' income. And then when we came back to see, some of the customers had got, actually about 2 or 3 of the customers had got sea priced at the price of tuna. So they had got 500 grams of sea for just $300, whereas it should be at least 480 rupees. There was a miscommunication with the customer. There was not miscommunication, more likely a miscoordination with customers.
Person, you just told me that it was your idea for the prawns.
Yes, definitely.
And to deshell the prawns.
Yes.
David, you two claim the same thing.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us who actually did that?
Even before the competition started, there was this discussion, and at that point, I suggested whether, when the camera crew was asking whether there are any questions, I was asking whether we can go for any other alternative other than fish, other kinds of seafood. You were also there. I think you may remember that. So when we were planning the game plan, when we were discussing about the game plan, I suggested that we should go for prawns.
You were suggesting that you deshell prawns and sell it at a higher price.
Yeah.
Is that a product that will sell to that target audience?
Definitely. We first...
I haven't finished.
Oh, sorry.
What was the price point of the deshelled prawns? You haven't told us that.
Okay. We were planning to sell 1 kilo for 800 rupees. For
David, what went wrong for you then? Was it this issue around the weight and the prawns? Was it communications? Where did it go wrong?
The problem with the prawns and deshelling it was, I think, a genuine mistake that we didn't understand that there was that loss of value.
Okay, so let's ask Rivka about that. Rivka, you're the leader, and people are saying that there are communication problems. Were you aware?
For 100%, I'm not agreeing that miscommunication is there. There's no miscommunication. We did as what we can.
Okay.
I'm not agreeing if you say that there's a miscommunication.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying it. Other people are saying it. Abby, what do you think?
Well, I do think it was a big problem, miscommunication. I mean, obviously, we struggled a bit because we don't talk the language. It was very busy. I kind of felt like we were following. We kept asking what's going on, but decisions were being made. Like we'd ask, and it's already been made. The Balia and the Salia, we weren't asked about, I don't feel. And obviously with the Balia, how they say you get itchy skin, why did we buy it? So I wouldn't say that was one person's fault, I'd say that's inexperience of selling fish.
Pete, what about you? What did you bring to the table?
Well, I think the first point to be noted is that at no point was there ever any clear delegation of roles. I think that's something which should have been quite important. That's what we've learnt so far. There was never any delegation. So, for example, in the fish market, myself, Abby and David ended up sort of following around like sheep. okay, we don't speak the language, and it's maybe not a good idea to interrupt during a negotiation, but if we're acting as a team, we should make decisions as a team, and that wasn't happening.
And was that a shared responsibility? Was it everyone's responsibility to make sure that the team roles were allocated, or was it just the leader's responsibility?
In my opinion, that should be the leader's role. The leader's job is to coordinate things.
So there's lots to learn about fish and about selling fish in the marketplace in this particular context as well, and you've learned an awful lot. There's also a lot to learn about teamwork and communication across the team. And we now have to make a decision, because one of you is going to be eliminated.
In my eyes, it was Rivka. She was the leader, she nominated herself. The feedback we gave her, it was just all her decisions.
And that's how our strategy just ended up all over the place, so I would say Rivka.
Pete and Abhi has taken the cashier work, got messed up with that. Most of the time his calculations created a lot of losses among our team.
So we've had an interesting discussion and we've all agreed. But today was all about leadership and about teamwork. And I'd like to ask two people to step forward. That's Rivka and Pete. Rivka, you threw yourself into the leadership role heart and soul. You were clearly a very strong leader. But the key thing about leadership is creating the team. Your team members were saying that there was a lot of miscommunication, but you weren't recognising that. You denied the miscommunication. There's an issue there about taking responsibility as team leader. Pete, you gave a really good analysis of where you felt things went wrong. And one of them was to say, well, where were the roles? Where was the delegation of responsibilities? It didn't happen. But we rather felt that, what did you do about that? Why didn't you step forward and take leadership yourself and sort out who was doing what? Talk to the leader and broker a decision. So there's something about taking responsibility as part of the team as well as being in the leadership position. But when it comes down to it, in this particular challenge, it was your responsibility, Rivka, to lead that team and to make sure everyone knew what they were doing. And so I'm afraid you're eliminated and we have to ask you to leave. So that's the lesson. It's all about teamwork, communicating across the team. It's about leadership, but it's about everybody playing a collective role in that and being a strong team member. Good luck tomorrow.
Entrepreneurial skill means something else, and entrepreneurial skill comes from the body. So it's like you can't say that by this and that and that, like pointing out some person. I don't mind getting eliminated, but there are few problems who taken 80% share of the loss of the team, like giving Fish and Tona and taking Lisa Price, who was a cashier, who was Abhi, and Pete. So those were not yet taken into considerations. That's what my point.